E.N.D here. Another massive day of spoilers for War of the Spark. Yesterday we had day 1 of spoilers. It was a massive day for spoilers. Everyone was waiting for that day to see the first cards for War of the Spark. We had also a nice trailer for War of the Spark. And today we have another massive day of spoiler. A lot of cards have been spoiled, good cards, strong cards, so let's not waste time and begin our spoilers. Crush Descendant for 3 and 1 blue. It's an instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Amass 2. Amass 2 means that you put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control an army, you put a 0/0 zombie token and put the 2 +1/+1 counters on it. If you don't know how to play Amass, at the end of this video here, I will leave a link to one of my videos where I have given a tutorial how to play Amass. Rising Populace, a human 2/2. Whenever another creature or planeswalker you control dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on Rising Populace. Erratic Visionary, 1/3. For 1 and 1 blue, you discard the card and you draw a card. And you have to untap Erratic Visionary. Naga Turner, this is a vanilla 3/2 creature. It's a reference for Amonkhet. Burning Prophet. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Burning Prophet gets 1/1/0 until end of turn, and it's a scry 1. It is a 1/3 creature, and if you can manage to cast certain amount of instant and sorcery, this will get quite nasty to deal with, especially in limited. Honor the God Pharaoh. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card, and you draw 2 cards. Also, you have to amass 1. You put the +1/+1 counter on the army. If you don't have the army, you put a creature, token, zombie army on it and put the +1/+1 counter on it. Kaya's Ghost Form. It's an enchantment aura. You enchant a creature or planeswalker you control. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. I believe this is a quite very strong card, especially in limited, and may see some play in other formats. Theos Lightshield, Illusionary. When Theos Lightshield enter the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This is a 0/3 creature. It is like a wall, but you can put the +1/+1 counter on itself because it says target creature, not target another target creature. Wanderer Strike. The Wanderer is a new planeswalker. Exile target creature, then proliferate. Proliferate means that you choose any creature, permanent, or player, and those players, creature or permanents, even yourself and your creatures, if they have +1 any counter, you add one of those counters. Could be infect, could be +1/+1 counters, could be also -1/-1 counters, could be also loyalty counters of planeswalkers. Summon Sprint. For 1 red, target creature gets +1/+2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. You scry 1. Vivian Grizzly. Bear Spirit 2/3. For 3 and 1 green, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put that card into your hand, put it on the bottom of your library. Devril Shadow Fugue. Target player discards 2 cards and loses 2 lives. This will not see any standard play, but in limited it's a very strong card. This is a card in Spanish. Wheat Farmer of Bolas. It's a zombie minotaur. As long as it's your turn, it has first strike. For 1, sacrifice another creature. It gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Gideon's Triumph. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control a Gideon's planeswalker, that pair sacrifices 2 of those creatures instead. Cholera de Angrat. If my Spanish is good, I believe this is Red of Angrat, and it's a sorcery and you choose one. Target player sacrifices a creature, an artifact, or a planeswalker. Cruel Celebrant. Whenever Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Dovin's Veto. This is an FNM promo card, but obviously there will be this card in War of the Spark. The spell can be countered. Counter target non-creature spell. It is a counter spell, and I think it is quite a very solid card. Especially it cannot be countered. Those mono blue decks or Esper, I think this card will fit perfectly in them. Liliana's Triumph. This is another promo card. For 1 and 1 black, each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control a Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. Ogre of Bolas. This was revealed on Friday that it will be in War of the Spark. 1 and 1 blue, 1/3. When Ogre of Bolas enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest into bottom in any order. Karn's Bastion. It's a land. Tap for 1 colorless. I believe our land cycle in War of the Spark will have tap for 1 colorless, but this for 4 you tap and you proliferate. As I said, proliferate, you choose any player or permanent and you add 1 of those counters that they have. Vivian's Arcbow. It's a legendary artifact. X, tap, discard a card, look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Solid card. I believe this will be a very strong artifact and may see some play in other formats. Now we'll begin our spoilers of the Planeswalkers. The first we have, it's an uncommon, it's Samut, Tyrant Smasher. Creatures you control have haste, and for the -1, target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. You scry 1. With Proliferate, you can add counters on your Planeswalkers. Devriel Rogue Shadow Mage. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if the pair has 1 or fewer cards in hand, Devriel Rogue Shadow Mage deals 2 damage to them. -1, target player discards a card. Kiora Behemoth Beconner. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. -1, untap target permanent. I think this will see some play because it's quite strong, especially the first ability and the second ability. And you can use this ability 7 times. Kaya Bane of Death also has 7 loyalty, but you need 6 to cast. Your opponent permanents and permanents your opponent controls with hexproof can be the target of spells and abilities you control as though they didn't have hexproof. Very strong. Exile target creature. You can use it twice to exile 2 creatures. If you proliferate, you can also add counters on it and you continue to exile the creatures. Theo the Shield Mage. This is the new Planeswalker, Theo Verada. You have hexproof, and the -2, you create a 0/3 white wall creature token with Defender. Angrat Planeswalker. Creatures you control have menace and amass 2. Amass 2, as I said, you put the +1/+1 counters, 2 +1/+1 counters in the case, on an army. If you don't have, you put a 0/0 token zombie army creature and you put the 2 +1/+1 counters on it. The Wanderer, this is the new Planeswalker, as I said. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. Exile target creature, -2, exile target creature with power 4 or greater. I believe this is quite a very strong planeswalker even though it is at uncommon level. The first rare planeswalker, Vivian, Champion of the Wind. You may cast creature spells as though they had flesh, very strong. For 3 and for loyalty card, it's a very strong planeswalker. Until your next, the +1 until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gains vigilance and reach. And the -2 is look at the top 3 cards of your library, exile 1 face down and put the rest on the bottom of your library in order. For as long as it remains exiled, you may look at that card and you may cast it if it's a creature card. Teferi Time Reveler. This is the new Teferi. It is not strong as the Teferi of Dominaria, Hero of Dominaria, but it's still a Teferi, and I think we'll see play in Esper control decks. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery. Until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flesh, and the -3 is return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to their owner's hand, draw a card. Nicol Bolas, Dragon God. This is the new mythic Nicol Bolas. For 1 blue, 3 black and 1 red, Nicol Bolas Dragon has all loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. This is an attempt of Wizards of the Coast so that the game will go in casting more planeswalkers. The +1, you draw a card, each opponent exile a card from their hand or a permanent they control. The -3, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And the -3, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. Very strong mythic card. The last card I'm going to show you is an April Fool. This was spoiled. Thoughtseize. This card is not part of War of the Spark. This is a fake card, a fake news. This is an April Fool. So please don't get fooled and don't think that Thoughtseize will be part of War of the Spark. This is the last card I'm going to show you. As I said, it's not a spoiler, but stay tuned to my channel. There's the subscribe button here for more spoilers about War of the Spark and Magic the Gathering.